Okay, and we're live. Thank you everyone for joining the opening ceremony for FraxBuild, one of Frax's very first online hackathons hosted on DoraHacks.io. We're
The
joined
first
today,
hackathon.
the first. We're joined today from DeFi Dave, a core advocate for Frax protocol and Flywheel. We're very excited to be hosting this hackathon. Frax has long been one of the most innovative, stablecoin protocols in the Ethereum ecosystem. Their ambitions stretch very high in the types of projects we want to be submitted to this project, ranging from data analytics to product expansion. Essentially, we really see this as something very positive for the community of both DoraHacks and Frax. We're very excited to be collaborating with the Frax team. This is essentially like a first of its kind hackathon on DoraHacks. So for everyone in our developer community, I urge you to come check it out because there's some really cool prizes. It's a 50-day hackathon. There's going to be programming and workshops for all of you, as well as $50,000 worth of FXS token up for grabs for the top projects. So this is a very exciting hackathon, very unique opportunity. And with that said, I'd love to turn it over to DeFi Dave. If you want to share any words about the hackathon or present any slides you prepared, now is your time to shine.
Sure. Thank you so much, Brian, and to you and everyone at DoraHacks for letting us host this hackathon. You've all been really helpful in this process, and we're really excited to get this going. We said, this is the first ever Frax hackathon. We've been getting this together for months, ever since we met at ETH Denver, trying to get this together. And, for a really long time, we've been thinking of ways like, how can we support the Frax ecosystem? Because, they have their core team. There's only so many devs. They have a singular focus. And, this really gives us the opportunity to, reach out to the best in the DoraHacks community and beyond to see the talent what's there and see what we can cook up with this hackathon. So I prepared a short presentation, and let me just pull it up. There we go. Slideshow. Oh, let me go back. All right, here we go. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. The FraxBuild Hackathon opening ceremony presentation, folks. So, a little bit of context of everything. We at Frax see there are 3 trillion opportunities in blockchain. There's, of course, Bitcoin, which is digital gold, store of value. It was the first, paved the way for blockchain and everything else. There's Ethereum, the world computer, which really sets the field for building decentralized applications. And, one of the killer applications, if not the killer application of Ethereum, has been stablecoins. Stablecoins, they've been around for almost 10 years now, like from when Tether launched in 2014 till now. They've been parabolic in growth. They've shown to have real utility, more so than just beyond like something that traders use, but used for remittances, salaries. People from all over the world utilize stablecoins, and it's really proven itself to be the most efficient and neutral settlement layer that has a lot of even more potential in the future. So what is a stablecoin? My definition of a stablecoin is any type of digital asset that maintains a reference peg to a correlating asset. So right now, dollar-peg stablecoins make up the vast majority of stablecoins, but other stablecoins under this definition that exist include, euro-peg stablecoins, gold, and even ETH-pegged stablecoins. So what is Frax Finance in this regard? Well, Frax Finance is a protocol that issues innovative decentralized stablecoins and contains sub-protocols to support them. The Frax protocol currently issues 3 different types of stablecoins. There's Frax, there's FPI, and there's Frax ETH. And then, like I said, there are 3 different sub-protocols that integrate these stablecoins, each built with a specific purpose. Supporting the stablecoins, there's Frax Lend, Frax Swap, and Frax Ferry. And today, there's nearly 1 billion Frax in circulation. It is one of the largest decentralized stablecoins out there. And there's right now, to date, nearly 230,000 ETH staked in Frax ETH, which has been the fastest growing liquid staking derivative on the market. So, let's go into the stablecoins. Like I said, there are 3 stablecoins. Frax, which is, the flagship stablecoin. It's the USD pegged asset. It started way back in late 2020 in that first era of quote unquote algorithmic stablecoins. It's evolved a lot since the beginning. It used to be a hybrid, partially collateralized stablecoin. And through a lot of design and iteration and evolution, it actually now it is on its way to becoming 100% collateralized. It has, different quote unquote algorithmic market operations to support it, which are basically actions taken by the protocol to keep the stablecoin at $1 peg. We're going to get into that more, as we talk about the technical workshops and office hours. If you have any questions about it, we're going to have the Frax core team talk about it. Next up on the stablecoins, we have the Frax price index, which is a stablecoin, the first of its kind that's actually pegged to the consumer price index, which makes it independent. I like to think of it in between like dollar peg stablecoins and maybe free floating stablecoins such as like OM or RAI. It's a stablecoin that's, pegged to the rate of inflation. So I like to think of it as like, a savings account on chain. And then there's Frax ETH, which is a stablecoin that's pegged to Ethereum. And, the Frax ETH is a 2-token system where you have Frax ETH, which is think of it as like a replacement of WETH. It's the equivalent of WETH. And then you have sFrax ETH, which is the, the staked version of Frax ETH. And when you stake Frax ETH for sFrax ETH, that's when you actually earn that beacon chain yield. It's a very unique design. Next up, we are going to the sub protocol. So we have FraxSwap, which is a native AMM. FraxSwap was the first AMM to be built as a TWAM, which stands for a time-weighted automated market maker, or as I like to personally call it, a DCA machine. So basically, it allows you to place orders that would be filled over a long period of time. So let's say you're a DAO. You have a native token, but you're looking to exchange it for ETH for treasury management purposes, but you don't want to sell all your token right away. You can just go to FraxSwap and say like, hey, I want to sell like X token over a month span, and then the AMM will do that for you. So Frax deployed this in order to basically initiate monetary policy for its governance token FXS. FraxLend, which is one of my personal favorite sub protocols, is a lending facility for Frax-based stablecoins. It's unique in its design because it has siloed pools, which makes it a lot safer, and it allows Frax to, through its AMOs, actually deploy Frax into the lending facility, and like I said, like conduct monetary policy in the same way it conducts monetary policy with FraxSwap. It does the same thing with FraxLend. It's grown a lot since launch. I believe right now it's almost 200 million in TVL, and more and more collateral assets are being added every day. And most recently, we have the Curve LP tokens, which is really exciting to see. Next up, we have Frax Ferry, which is it's not exactly a bridge, but it is kind of a bridge. It's how Frax gets bridged throughout and distributed throughout this multi-chain world. Frax was one of the first protocols to go multi-chain way back in early 2021. Just seeing how the space has evolved, it realized the safest and most effective way to do bridging was to build its own native bridge, and so that's how Frax Ferry came about. And transfers natively issued Frax protocol tokens across several different blockchains. Frax Share is the governance token of the whole Frax ecosystem. It accrues fees, revenues, and any excess collateral value. There's also FPIS, which is a governance token of FPI, which also splits the value capture with FXS. And incentives with FXS are really determined by the gauge reward system, where the community votes on to decide where rewards are distributed, whether it's to like certain curve LP pairs, whether it's to even Uniswap pairs, the gauge, or whether it's to like certain farms and whatnot. The gauge system really determines, where FXS should go, and that's decided by the community. So Frax is doing a lot. This might seem like Frax is like, they're doing so many different things. Like, how can they have, how can they like stay focused? Well, I'd like to argue that like every one of Frax's stablecoins and every one of Frax's sub protocols all complement each other in a very nice fashion, and they all build up upon each other to create, this one unified system. I like to think of Frax as people say like, oh, Frax, it stands for fractional reserve. I like to think of Frax as more of like a fractal of all of DeFi. It's a microcosm of like all the different parts of DeFi, but built in one protocol. So, but believe it or not, Frax is building all this, but their devs are in the single digits. They made great strides, but they only have, I believe, 7 or 8 devs, and their focus is building the best possible stablecoins. So this leaves a number of opportunities to build around Frax. So for example, most recently you had Hourglass. They built a time-based token swap based on locked Frax liquidity. They recently launched and announced their raise, and they've been getting a ton of hype. And they started with building around the Frax ecosystem. So there are opportunities to build around Frax, and now is your opportunity to do so. And we're really excited to get this hackathon going. We have a number of different tracks and suggestions and ideas. And like I said, so we have 3 main tracks and categories in the hackathon. So, first is product expansion. So building on top of Frax primitives in the Frax ecosystem that utilizes Frax stablecoins and sub-protocols. This is our biggest category, as you can see, with the prizes. So first place, $20,000 worth of FXS. Second place, $10,000 worth of FXS. And third place, $5,000 worth of FXS. Next up, we have consumer adoption. So it's basically making the Frax ecosystem more accessible through, through better interfaces and products. This is, the second biggest category, where the first place is $7.5K, second place is $3.5K, and third place is $1,000. All prizes in FXS. Next up is building data analytics. People love to see visualizations of what's going on chain, and so we have a category for that. We'd love to see different dashboards for both beginners and experts alike that want to get a better picture of what's going on in the Frax ecosystem. So, first place we have $2,000, second place we have $750, and third place we have $250. All prizes in FXS. What I really love about this hackathon and what this is offering is it gets the chance for developers to actually interface with the Frax core team. And so we're hosting a number of technical workshops and office hours, as you can see the schedule here, including with the founder and probably the best known face of Frax, Sam Kazemian, coming up this Friday. We also have office hours with Travis, who's the CTO and co-founder of Frax as well. He was there from the beginning, sit with Sam. Next up, we have the technical workshop with the lead dev of Frax, Drake Evans. He's been an integral part of the team for over a year now. He'll be having a technical workshop and office hours as well. Next up, we have Nadir doing office hours. And if you ever want to interface with Frax governance, or if you're a project looking to get gauges directed to your token or your project, Nadir is in charge of governance and BD in that regard. And then, of course, finishing it off, we have office hours with Sam Kazemian himself. So here's some key dates. Today, May 29th, is the opening ceremony where we kick off this hackathon. Like Brian said, we're doing this for 50 days. So May 29th through July 18th is the submission period. Then we have 2 days of judging. And then July 20th, we will have the winners announced for this hackathon. Thank you all for participating. We're really excited to get this going. Make sure you follow Frax, Flywheel, and DoraHacks on Twitter. Like, I would love to thank Brian and the whole DoraHacks team again for their support in getting this together. And we're really excited to see what everyone has in store for us. Let me, and I also like to mention, that the judges for this hackathon will be myself, Sam Kazemian, Travis Moore, Drake Evans, and Drake Evans, and Ken Dieter, who is a general partner at Electric Capital.
That is awesome. That's an all-star cast.
Yeah, really. Yeah, this isn't. Yeah.
If you're a project and you're looking to get FaceTime with some of these titans of industry, it's definitely an amazing opportunity. Thank you so much for walking through, your presentation, Dave. I think that was very informative and thorough, and gave all of the developers and audience here a really good idea of what you're looking for in terms of the expectations of the project that submit to this hackathon. Next part of this opening ceremony, I'll be walking the audience through the exact process of submitting their project to the FraxBuild Hackathon on DoraHacks. At any point during that process, anyone in the audience, please feel free to ask questions in the chat. and I'll be sure to answer them here. Or you can reach out to me directly at Brian Dora on Telegram, and I'll respond to you as well there as well. Likewise, DeFi Dave, reach out to him, reach out to FraxCore team. They'll be happy to answer your questions as well.
If anybody has any technical questions about Frax, I would say the best place to go is the Frax Finance Telegram group. Sam is very active in there. That's probably the best place to reach him. So if you have any technical questions, that's the place to go.
Awesome. Yep. And I'm about to jump into the DoraHacks.io website. But I would definitely like to highlight one more time just how exciting of an opportunity this is for developers. I love, Dave, how you mentioned Hourglass. For anyone that doesn't know, this is a new project that's leveraging Frax protocol. It's a new DeFi primitive. They just raised money led by Electric Capital. So there is a lot of interest here in terms of developers that are looking to get exposure to institutional groups, capital partners, et cetera. Like beyond just the prize pool offered in this hackathon, if you submit a top project to FraxBuild, you're going to be like enumerated with so many resources, so many incubational resources, so many key partners that you're going to be able to chat with. This is really an exciting opportunity, and there's a lot of interest, in these types of projects. So really excited to see what you guys end up putting together here. And with that said, I would love to share my screen and walk through the process of submitting. Okay, so this is the DoraHacks platform. When you go to submit your project, make sure you're coming to DoraHacks.io and not some other website. The first step really is creating a DoraHacks account. As you see, I'm already logged in. However, when you come to log in, there'll be a button up here that says log in, and there's a few options for you. You can log in with your email. You can log in even with a wallet, your MetaMask wallet or a Wallet Connect. You can even log in with a Bitcoin Lightning wallet now. Or the option that might make most sense for developers is just to log in with your GitHub, because you'll be required to link your GitHub to your project submission anyway. So if you just log in with your GitHub, that might be the best solution for developers. And then once you are logged in, you can click on hackathons and you'll be brought to this page here. FraxBuild Hackathon will be put in this top right corner here, highlighted at many times during the course of this hackathon. As you can see, it's right here on the slider already down here, but you'll be able to see it up here as well. It'll be spotlighted numerous times. But if it's not up right here when you first join, you might find it on the slider here, or you might find it in the list of active hackathons here as well. And then you come here, and here is the actual hackathon portal. This is the main resource hub for submissions and for every piece of information related to this hackathon. As you can see, this hackathon has just opened now, but as the hackathon's ongoing and people begin submitting their projects, you'll see this list here starting to get populated. As Dave mentioned during the opening ceremony, basically, you can find an introduction to Frax here. He went over this already, but if you're looking for more information, you can find it right here on the detail page. Every part of that opening ceremony, all those resources are here as well, so you can find them along with key dates, the judges panels, and the prizes, and a little bit about Frax as well. Here's also all of the tracks that Dave mentioned during the opening ceremony, with some more details around them as well. Obviously, product expansion is a large focus. So you can see Frax team has provided some ideas of what constitutes a product expansion, like an options market or a lend optimizer, ecosystem derivatives, et cetera. So if you're looking to get started and want kind of an idea of what direction to start building in, please come to this track page that has really thorough ideas list, which could inspire you for some ideas if you're a developer of really what some of the top projects will look like. Another thing that was mentioned was the workshop schedule. The links will be forthcoming. The first one is this Friday, hosted by Sam. It'll be a technical workshop introducing you to the tech stack of Frax and other developer resources that you'll need to know to get started. And with that being said, you can come here anytime, basically, for any of this information. The last thing I want to show you is how to actually submit your project once you're done building. So you're registered, you've been building, you're ready to submit. You come over here to submit your BIDL, right? BIDL is a meme of HODL, but essentially this is just your submission, your project. So if you're a new developer at DoraHacks, or this is the first time you're applying for a hackathon, you'll need to create a new BIDL. I imagine 99% of submissions will have to create a new BIDL. to submit to this hackathon to make sure your BIDL, reaches the requirements of the hackathon. If you've applied to a hackathon previously on DoraHacks and you think your project with some minor edits can be relevant for this one as well, that's where you would select, an existing BIDL that maybe you've created previously. But the majority of developers will create a new BIDL by clicking this button right here. This is your project submission, basically. You're creating your project profile. So you'll enter the name of your project, like maybe I'm making like a Frax Ferry Optimizer or something like that. So you would put the title there. If you have a logo, you'll insert it here for your project. Grant source will be hackathon, and you'll type in FraxBuild here. Vectory is obviously crypto. Category likely is DeFi. And one thing about this, just so you know, these are essentially just like hashtags. So if someone is coming to the website and is like searching through all of the submitted BIDLs, these are hashtags that help them locate projects more easily. So don't worry too much if you click the wrong one. Like this won't actually like make your project ineligible. These are just hashtags for your project to kind of liven up the profile page. So in this case, it would be other, and it would be Frax. A tagline would be like just a brief description of your overall vision. And then BIDL description is where you actually get into the nuts and bolts of like what your project is and how it works. Maybe there's some photos and diagrams you can upload as well to really make it shine. Right here is where you'll put your Telegram for BIDL verification. This will be necessary for the DoraHacks and the Frax team to be reaching out to you if you have been invited to a demo day, if you've won a prize and we need to reach out to get like payment information, or just want to contact to provide additional incubational resources. Please make sure you put your contact information here. In addition to Telegram, Discord is definitely recommended. If you have WhatsApp or WeChat, you can put that too, but it's optional. Right here is where you add your teammates. Obviously, if you're submitting a project solo, you don't need to worry about this, but if you're submitting as a team, you're going to want to make sure to add all your team members here. So say I'm making a project with my associate from DoraHacks, Chris, I would put his email here, and right here, this pops up. I would click this, an email gets sent to him, he accepts it, and he'll be added to this project. Here's where you put your team information. Like maybe I'm the CEO and I have some, and I put my background. Chris is the product manager. He puts his background. You basically put all the team information here. Dave is the engineer. You put his background here as well. Right here is where you're going to link your GitHub for this project, which is important because judges will go to verify, the extent of creativity and the legitimacy of the submission. And right here is a demo. A demo maybe is like a website that you've set up for your project with some basic functionality. And a demo video is a video of you yourself actually walking through judges the actual usage of your project. So demo video is optional, but it's highly recommended. All of the top projects will have a very strong demo video that will outline how your project works and spotlight some of the key features. And then if you have it, definitely highly recommend creating a Twitter page for your project because we can do a lot of marketing around that if it's a top submission, do submission spotlights and really drive some engagement. So definitely make a Twitter for your project and put it here. Facebook is totally optional, but if you have it, you can put it. After you're done with that, you'll click I agree right here, and then you'll click Submit BIDL and back. And this part is very important to remember because essentially what you've just done is you've created your project profile. Your BIDL has been created, but you actually haven't submitted it to the Frax Hackathon yet. So once you click Submit BIDL and back, you'll be brought back to this page here. On this drop-down list, your BIDL will be visible now. You'll select it, and then right here is where you click the track you're applying to for this FraxBuild Hackathon. So say I'm applying to product expansion, I click that, and then one more time I hit agree, and then submit. And now your project has been submitted to the FraxBuild Hackathon. It goes through a verification process that takes anywhere from 24 to 48 hours before it's made visible on our website. And once that process is complete, you'll see it visible on our site, and it'll be submitted. And at that point, judges can begin reviewing. So that's basically a brief overview of how the platform works. Once again, if anyone has any questions during the process, we'll be available to explain anything. And yeah, please feel free to reach out. So that's essentially, a brief overview of our site. We got some words from Dave. That's the majority of the opening ceremony. Before we wrap, I would love to turn it over to Dave one last time. If you have any final words, please feel free to share, and then we can conclude.
Yeah, like I said, really excited to get this going. Really thankful for you and the whole DoraHacks team for helping us organize this. I see the comments. I will add some docs and more links to the description after this. And yeah, really excited to see what all the hackers at DoraHacks have in store for us. Yeah, really excited to get this going, like I said.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, and I saw Aru in the chat asking for some docs. Yep, we'll make sure to add those to the description page. We'll put all the developer resources there, so don't worry. We'll have that covered. We'd just love, one last time to thank Dave and everyone from the Frax team for hosting this hackathon with DoraHacks. We're very, very excited. We're very much looking forward to reviewing the project submissions. As I said earlier, this is a first of its kind hackathon. So there's going to be a very unique opportunity for developers. We're very excited to share it with you all. So with that said, thank you, Dave, for joining me, taking some time out of your day to present your opening ceremony. And everyone from the audience who joined, thank you for joining as well. Reach out if you have any questions. And let's get started on this hackathon. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.